Hey guys, welcome back to Storytime 2. This is They Called It a Game. The series has, I think, like 16 parts already, maybe more by the time I get to 16. So, episode 1 will be linked in the description below, as I do with the Cup of Joe series. I very much hope you enjoy it. And if you haven't seen episode 1, I recommend it. I like it. It's kind of a niche audience. But here we go, episode 2. It happened in mid-spring, a good time of year to have to travel, which worked out well for us. A large portion of our guild was in the continental US, with methods of travel other than flight basically unaffected. Seriously, dragons were attacking planes. It was both horrifying and amazing. We were able to start gathering up. I was lucky. I had enjoyed camping for many years, so I had enough supplies for an entire group. Most stores were able to function, and in this new world, I was already able to build up a hefty account. That's one of the great things about a game. The harder you work, the more you make. Not like real life. That role was suddenly flipped. Big, strong construction workers and speedy waiters and waitresses with their immense stamina suddenly ruled the financial realms. The dynasties were quickly falling apart as they found their skill sets less and less useful. Looking pretty and being born with the right name was no longer the most important ability to have, at least not in our country. After about a month, those of us on the East Coast had gathered. Travel wasn't all that difficult, as we had managed to teach some of our loved ones the new rules, and we ourselves had spent years doing exactly this in front of a computer screen. Most of us weren't in the best shape, to be fair, when it all began, but our vaults of knowledge had given us an incredible advantage. We pressed through some early levels with haste, and in short time, we had enough modifiers and practice to casually saunter through even the most threatening wildernesses. That was one of the perks. As you gained in experience, you became stronger, faster, healthier even. It was bizarre at first, but after a few days, most of us were accustomed to it. Much of the world still hasn't quite caught on to this, though, so we're still leading the front lines. Once we gathered on the East Coast, we started planning our trek across the nation to gather our ranks and establish safe communities. We knew, as the leaders in the game world prior to this, it was on us to round up the more casual players and help them get established in their community to teach and help people survive. The edge one gained from even being vaguely familiar with the world of role-playing games was huge, and it wasn't difficult to find people who had already helped small groups gain a foothold. Word came through in mid-October of a fiendish demon arising in the west. It had already slain at least 1,000 innocents. We felt like it was rude to call them noobs anymore, and had dropped at least 5 whole guilds that had come looking for glory. Clearly, this was going to be an issue if we were to gather the rest of our group, and this new arrival made it even more clear that we would have to be together soon. If the pattern of events was right, then this was only the first of many, possibly an infinite number of new and increasingly powerful creatures. We spent weeks planning, studying the battles that had already played out and warning many other groups against an attack until we had conceived of exactly how we would do it. Those that listened helped us to gather info, scouting the local areas alongside our most experienced rangers. Those that didn't taught us everything we needed to know in their failed attempts. It was tragic, but as I look back, it may have been imperative. We planned our assault for early December, and we made final preparations for the coming storm. That is, They Called It a Game, part 2. I do hope that you enjoy it. I know there's a bit of RP, like gaming lingo and stuff, but I hope that the context sort of betrays what that actually means. If not, I'm happy to answer questions. Feel free to message me over on the Facebook. It is facebook.com/simplyjamesaustin. At least I'm fairly sure of that. It should say James Austin, poet, philosopher, artist. I know, it's cocky, but you got to sell yourself. If I don't value myself, who will, right? Anyways, thanks very much for your time, guys. Whatever time of day it is for you, I hope it's a great time of day. I hope you have a wonderful life ahead of you. Take care.